The CGA Tour, a podcast unlike any other. Now your host, Calvin Alexander.
Hey Cowboy fans, today's episode is brought to you by Oakley Burklow, your go-to independent insurance agent and proud OSU alum. Oakley helps with home, auto, life, and business insurance, working with multiple top-rated insurance companies to find you the right coverage at the right price. Licensed in Oklahoma and Arkansas. Call 918-280-9068 or email oakley.burklow@connectmyinsurance.com. Personal service, honest advice, and a fellow poke helping you protect what matters.
Welcome back to yet another episode of the CGA Tour, the Calvin Glen Alexander Tour podcast, being renamed at some point in the future because now I have an official co-host here, Trey Florence, from the Calvin and Trey radio show days, bringing it back a whole decade later. Can't believe it. So
don't remind me. My hair.
Thanks so much. Thank you for joining here. It's been fun. But of course, we got to talk about some Oklahoma State basketball.
Woo! Something I'm actually excited about.
What a win over an unranked, but a Texas A&M team. I mean, honestly, it's November, so like rankings, I'm okay chilling out for a minute. Now, don't get me wrong, I'd be hyped if we beat a ranked team, but
true.
We jumped up a ton in the Ken Palm rankings. If you're not familiar with those, I will share all the information in the description below of Ken Palm, but basically, big basketball nerd, stat guy, who puts together his rankings, and go to kenpalm.com to see we jumped from 69th to 50th.
Wow.
That win against A&M yesterday. Depending on releasing this, we're recording it on Monday, November 10th. So what are your thoughts there from the game?
One, I'm really excited just about basketball season. It's like the under, I wasn't like, I had zero expectations, and so far we, looked pretty good. There was like a preseason game against Auburn, which, that was, I guess, a practice game. I don't know what you would call it.
It was an exhibition.
Yeah.
I mean, like we took some stuff in. It could have gone better, but it went fine.
We won.
I mean, like, it was pretty incredible. We beat a Bruce Pearl coach team up until like a couple weeks ago, months ago. I mean, he abruptly resigned. So, but bringing in Bruce Pearl recruits and Auburn plays, I mean, they've just been really good. So beating them in an exhibition is incredible.
So at least like the first game against ORU last week, I was a little nervous going into the A&M game just because first half was way too close against Oral Roberts. Halftime was like 46-50, and we were just turning the ball over way too much. So I was like, oh boy, this A&M game, it's going to go one of two ways. And it was a third wave, which I was totally not expecting, where we were just completely dominant the whole entire time. I say whole entire time. We did kind of have like a somewhat slow start at the very, very beginning, but we led towards halftime and we just never let go.
Yeah, we played incredibly well. I mean, incredibly well. There are so many times that I've watched Oklahoma State basketball and it's been like, hey, we are so good. We're so athletic. We're so great at basketball. And all of a sudden we just stop scoring.
Right.
And this is a game that I was watching. I was going, all right, like, we're going to hit a lull. We're going to hit an offensive struggle point. Are we not going to be able to shoot it? Anthony Roy, Green Bay transfer, not playing currently. He's currently injured day to day from what Lutz said. And he could be back any moment, but Lutz wants him ready for Big 12 play. He wasn't worried about, so much non-conference play. With that being said, led the whole NCAA in points last year, average points per game. And he wasn't even playing for us. And we still just wiped him off the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Kanye Cleary had, sure I'm mispronouncing the last name there. He had a great game to start, but then went out. And we still, have the 4-star LSU transfer guard and Victorious Miller, who, I mean, he's a guy. Yeah. I don't know why he wasn't higher on my radar coming to the season, but oh my God. He's good.
It also helps that we shot 48% on the field too. Like that helps tremendously too. Like it feels like it's been pretty rare since you like seen a team that would shoot about almost 50% a whole game.
Yeah, but even then, like the best teams are doing what we're doing right now.
True.
I mean, like our adjusted tempo is not the greatest in the world. I mean, they're in the orange coloration on KenPom.com. That's why I'm saying not the best in the world, right? But our adjusted efficiency on offense and defense, incredible.
That was great. We had a lot of turnovers and a lot of points off of those turnovers.
Yes, 16th in the country on offense, 42nd in the country on defense in those adjusted efficiency. Average possession length, offense, we're 133rd. So we're not incredible. Defense, we're 38. So pretty good there, an average possession length. Like you're right though. We are really, really good. Our effective field goal percentage on defense, we are not letting anyone get off any good shots. Like we are. It's just impressive to me that you bring in a guy like Lutz who wants to really up the tempo of the game. Let's get up as many shots as we can. In the post-game interview yesterday, he's talking about how that there are a lot of teams that are used to playing, and maybe that was true for A&M. They're used to playing like, hey, 60 possessions.
Yep.
We're trying to get to 100 in every time. And sometimes that works out real well.
Mm-hmm.
Works out poorly like we saw last year. Don't have the guys who can run it that well. And we'll see how the whole season goes, of course, but like optimism's just through the roof, right?
I hope, this is me personally, I hope the A&M team is actually as good as we thought they were going into it. So I want to kind of like still kind of pay attention to them throughout the season, seeing if like this is like a fluke, like not like in football, like Oregon, we're like, are they really that good type of thing? But they're in the Big Ten, so like of course they're going to be high ranked. So I'm curious to see how A&M's rest of their season goes, because I at least thought A&M was going to be like really high on the ranking, at least probably make it top 25 at some point, maybe, because SEC basketball is not like, yes, you got Kentucky, but for the most part, the rest of the SEC is a little.
I'd push back on that quite a bit. And they got the national championship winner in Florida.
True. I always forget about Florida's in the SEC.
And they've got, Rick, the Texas head coach. I want to say Rick Pitino so badly, but they have, but I mean, I'm currently looking, the whole conference. Florida's the only team that's 1-1, or Florida, Arkansas, Texas A&M now, and OU all have one loss in the SEC, but not in conference play, not conference play. Weirdly enough, I think, this is sorted by record and then by name. I think A&M could be a really good team. Like they clearly had Pops Isaac. I'm not sure if everyone's aware, deleted his Twitter account, like because he was like, and multiple students, and I should say really the student section in the stadium was kind of chanting airball when he would shoot an airball. Like he was his plus minus of the day was -6. I mean, you just have all this going on. I hope that A&M is a really good team. I think the SEC conference will be back. I mean, honestly, some of these conferences now, okay, I'm not necessarily worried about South Carolina,
right,
and LSU all the time. And, I mean, Georgia, who knows? You have the Anthony Edwards year, but I'm not necessarily worried about like Mississippi State in basketball. They're not a powerhouse.
They're not known for
Ole Miss, but all these teams have a lot of money. They definitely have a big brand power in football. So they've got donors.
The TV money too. If that's for sure.
And Arkansas just won guy Coach Cal. So like SEC conference to me is like always going to be pretty darn incredible. It just is, which they're always going to have the 3 to 4 blue bloods.
Yep.
And they just don't have as deep of a conference as the Big 12. Like Big 12 right now, you're not used to saying Oklahoma State. You're honestly, after last year, not used to saying K-State.
Right.
But you're always used to saying Arizona, Houston, Kansas,
Baylor here and there.
Baylor, West Virginia.
Yep.
Cincinnati.
I always forget they're in our conference. They're just so on the East Coast. I'm like, oh yeah, we have that team.
Well, yeah. I mean, like we're not talking about UCF,
right,
in basketball, right?
No.
Every so often you're talking about UCF. Every so often you're talking about Oklahoma State and Kansas State when it comes to the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
But you're talking about Oklahoma State because of the deep run with Cade Cunningham in March Madness. And besides that, you've got some first round exits, and that's what we're talking about the last couple of years. So,
NITs, yeah, that too.
And the NITs. And that's a bunch of other, everyone who's listening now is aware of that stuff. I don't need to rehash the whole point in days. It is awesome though to see him shout us
yeah.
out on Twitter and say props to Oklahoma State, love to see how they're playing. You don't really see that from guys who are being coaching other teams, not retired or anything.
Right.
Besides all the excitement that maybe we both have here, what have your expectations changed any for this season? After this past week and seeing 2 games, of course, the RU game as well was a little different. And of course, it was also a little weirder, to be honest, because it just was closer of a game and you wouldn't think it would be.
Right. So, at least our conference, like our first few games, I think the only one that we probably will have any true challenge will probably be maybe the Northwestern game, 11-27, because the rest of them are small or South Florida, so we should be good there. Maybe OU would be another challenging game, but other than that, like, we pretty much have a relatively easy basketball season, at least from the outside looking in, until we play Tech at Tech. So, and that's truly getting into like the Big 12 conference. So I'm hoping we can get some wins with Tech and Iowa State. That would be huge. And then that would just lead on throughout the season. So at least I'm kind of hoping to at least make it to the tournament, March Madness tournament, not making it to the NIT, make it to the actual March Madness tournament. That would be nice. I'll take a 16 seed. I'll take it. But I think we'll be higher than that. I think we'd probably be.
Well, no one's ever, a Big 12 team is never a 16 seed. Yeah. I know you know that, but like, you had a comment today on someone hit you up on YouTube comments from the last episode. It's like, I don't know if Trey knows who Eric Morris is. I think he knows. No, let's go to bat for you, but I want to fully explain some stuff here to the commenters. Just make sure you know your stuff. I would say, honestly, my expectations is like, we're an 8-9 seed.
Yeah, that's what I was going at.
Real kind of, I don't think we're a 12 or 11 seed or like a play-in tournaments team, type of deal at the 12 seed. I think we could be 8 or 9. Might be really just way too far to jump, but we put up a lot of points on an A&M team that is full of Power 4 conference D1 guys that we know are playing good. And if we're going off the whole KenPom rankings, A&M was like 30th until we played them, and we were 69. So like, they weren't ranked, but they were almost ranked. And it's pretty darn great to see that all kind of more equal out. Because we play them, we're raising expectations of everyone else. Everyone else is seeing us just play a lot better than expected.
It helps that it was a home game. I don't know if we would have done as well on the road, but if what I saw the other day, I think we could have potentially stole a away game from A&M if we were to play them again on the road.
Yeah, we beat them by 24.
Yeah,
you would think
you would hope
like 5 to 10 points, depending on garbage time goes for for home advantage. You beat them by 24. That's a sound victory.
Right,
it's a sound victory.
The hardest part is like, at least right now on our schedule, is the later half of the schedule, because like we just get back to back to back like hard hitters of like Iowa State. Yeah, we have a Utah game, and then BYU, Arizona, and it's just like, that's going to be a rough week. I can tell you that.
Our conference is so deep that when I was naming all of the Blue Buds of the Big 12, I didn't even name Iowa State.
Yeah,
that's how deep the conference is. To be
honest,
BYU. I didn't name them, and they've got the probably number 1 overall draft pick in the NBA draft next year, in AJ DeBonstead.
Yeah.
So like, and they're incredible, and they're on the schedule because we're going to play every team. We just unfortunately only have to play BYU once this year.
Yep.
Which is crazy. It's in Stillwater. It's on a Wednesday. I can almost guarantee you I'll be there.
I bet you that's going to be a sellout or close to it.
Yeah.
Depending on how everything is.
Yeah, I don't know what. Then there's predictions for Oklahoma State. The current prediction is a loss in that game. I saw all these stats next to it. I was like, "What is going on?"
How is that possible?
It's like we lose to BYU at home. The current projection from KenPom is by 2. Cool.
ESPN saying only a 31% chance of winning at this moment in time.
KenPom likes us at 42%, so I'm taking that a little bit more.
I'll take that a little bit more.
Yeah. they're 42% confident that it'd be a 2-point win for BYU. I think that's the better way to read it. Excuse me. I'm excited for the OU game. That's the next one. But like Northwestern, that's a predicted loss for us.
I'm shocked.
Northwestern, really?
I know that they're pretty
first ranked here.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. A&M was 45th.
It is a road game, so I can see that. And it is so late too. Did you see the time of it? It's at 9:30.
Okay. All right. Well,
that's a late game for.
It's Thanksgiving. It's like the day of Thanksgiving, you know?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You probably don't have work. You're staying until 9:30. You watch Oklahoma State hoops, you know. You aren't expecting father here, so maybe you got the kid down by then, you know? I mean, you know, get a breakaway and
if we're not in labor that week, who knows?
Fingers crossed.
Yep.
But, you know, we could really see some Cowboy basketball. I mean, they're 51st. We are we're 50th, and A&M right now today is 45th. So that win was pretty good.
Yep. That was huge for us. I'm excited to see what the season has for us. It's a lot more hopeful. It's at least brings me joy because there's something about OSU that I'm actually excited about instead of the football games.
True. All right. Well, we'll continue talking about Oklahoma State basketball, of course, here. Last thing, we've got 2 games here before we do another podcast. We've got both at home, Prairie View A&M and Texas A&M Corpus Christi. We're going 2-0, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Ken Palm thinks we're beating each team by 20, if not 30. So
yeah, as long as we don't pull an Oral Roberts first half, I think we'll be solid.
And I'm willing to say that was first game of the season vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
That was kind of, you know, Connor Dow was the opponent, and he's like shot in the stadium before, and he made a couple threes where I was like, don't let him get hot.
Yeah, he got hot the first half, that's for sure. Because he
had a game for us. I remember in the Cowboy uniform where I was like, oh, okay, he can shoot real good. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out. He had a ton of those games, but he definitely gonna be scary. But you're right. I think as long as Prairie View A&M and Texas A&M Corpus Christi are free and clear of any former Cowboys, should be fine. All right. Well, this game here we've got against the Kansas State Wildcats coming up. It's the Justin Blackmon jersey retirement, retirement on the stadium.
Hall of Fame inductee. Yeah.
So what is your favorite Justin Blackmon memory?
Oh man.
Like game he played in. It is, I mean, we've got really 2 to pick from. Maybe there's a bizarre one, but I mean it's Bedlam or the Fiesta Bowl, right? Like it's one of those 2.
Right. I'm going to go lean towards Bedlam because I just have a bigger, you know, stigmatism towards OU fans and everything like that. So I'm going to go Bedlam. Obviously, yes, I still like the Tostito Bowl, and it was at that moment in time, like one of our wins ever that before we had to write in for a national championship.
I mean, that was the year.
Yeah, that's true.
The year we were, you know, that was the year
just not the Iowa State game. That we don't talk about that one that year.
Why'd you bring it up? I'm honestly annoyed. 2011 we played Blackman played in 13 games. In 2010 he played in 12, excuse me. But the 2011 season is like that's the year he has the most receptions. He has 2 less touchdowns though. So maybe is that your, I don't know if anyone's a big like Bill Simmons fan of the Grantland days where you'd go, this is the wine of 2016 or 2017, you know, like you could only have this player for 1 year,
right,
on your team. Which year are you taking?
I still take him the second year because people were more locked down on him and he was still pulling off those numbers the second year.
Well, I got to say though, that 2010 year, there are 2 losses, one to Nebraska by 10 and another one against OU. But still, Blackman plays in 1 less game, but puts up more receiving yards on less catches.
True.
Do you want to know what his receiving yards average per catch was?
Wasn't it like 47, something like that?
No, I mean saying like how many yards per catch?
Oh, yards per catch.
It's more than a first down. It's more than a first down and a half.
I was
16.1 yards of reception.
I was gonna say like 20, but yeah, I'm just like he was a lot of like just go, like Hail Mary go type of play, not like
you can just run streaks. He was so quick. Yeah. He was so good at adjusting to the ball when it came under. I mean, honestly, Casey Dunn doesn't get enough love for how great wide receivers coach he was. In fact, you've got a former Oklahoma State Cowboy on the last podcast, Shane Illingworth, talking about how good of a wide receivers coach that Casey Dunn was. Even though he was the quarterback, he knew how good of a wide receivers coach Casey Dunn was. Of course he does. It's around him every day, et cetera, et cetera. But I just thought it was funny. That was the side part. I think the Blackman game for me, it's honestly nothing's really going to beat the OU win, except the fact that that's not Blackman's best game. His best game basically ever, in my opinion, is when he had 8 catches for 186 yards. He had 3 touchdowns and 1 rushing attempt for 52 yards. And that is your Fiesta Bowl victory.
Yep, I was like, Fiesta Bowl.
Anyways, the K-State game here is an 11 a.m. kickoff this Saturday, November 15th. I can't do math. So 15th.
I got you.
Right? Yep. Thanks. What are your thoughts here? What are your vibes? How are you feeling? So it's kind of no Hosseini. So yeah. What are we thoughting?
I would be happy with at least we get 21 points again, be consistent for a little bit. That would be nice, getting at least 21 points. Don't quote me if that doesn't happen though, but because at least that would be 2 games in a row, but more likely we're going to probably get 17 points, just knowing us, but I don't know about Kansas though. Kansas, I feel like they're gonna win probably by like 42. What'd you say? 42-17.
You think K-State beats us that badly at all?
It's 11 o'clock game. We've never done well at 11 o'clock.
Well, I think we've done okay. I mean, they're favored by 28.5.
Okay.
So you're nuts for. Some sportbooks have it at 19.5.
Yeah, 19.5 or 20.5.
Yeah, there's one that's 19, but I don't really recognize that logo. So, I'd say this: the possibility that the over/under hits the over at 52.5 is better for Oklahoma State. I'd much rather see a high scoring game where we're putting up a lot of points, or we're just scoring a lot. And not that K-State has scored 53 and we put up 0.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that's definitely feasible. I think another week / another bye week too, getting Zane a little bit healthier.
True.
On the depth chart was released today. Zane being 1 or Sam Jackson the 5th being 2 for semantics, whatever, because they're listed as or, not, not actually like a 1-2. I like the fact that Zane's listed as the 1, even though it may not matter at all, which is good. And in another week or 2 of him being fully healthy, let's see what we got. See what we got under center. See if we can run some more kind of go-feed stuff like that. To be honest, I think this is our last winnable game.
Yes, this is definitely the last winnable game of the season. I definitely agree.
It's like a 20.5 point deal.
Yeah, no.
That's tough. That's a really rough deal overall, I'd say.
Yeah,
really rough.
Because the next one's at UCF and then then at home for senior day for Iowa State. Yeah, this is it. This is it.
So you win some, you lose some. We probably lose this one. Honestly, we probably have one on the season, and it's. Gosh, it seems like 5 years ago, but it's it
was a nobody team too.
Against Martin, we basically beat an FCS team. I just am really shocked at this point, like how you could have this many guys and all of these athletes be getting NIL money and being recruited to Oklahoma State and being in a uniform, going through practice in the summer, and it just never materialized.
Nothing.
What up? Just honestly, we look like a football team that knows what to do. We just have no
There's no team dynamics, I feel like, this year, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely.
Team unity, I guess you're looking for, maybe?
Well, what I'm getting at is that it so quickly falls off the horse.
Oh, yeah.
On the defensive side and the offensive side. Like, we're automatically put in a hole so big, it seems, every single game. Now, the Kansas game was different, for sure. We were in that one for much longer.
Right.
But, which gives me a lot of hope, because that's the last game we played. But we seem to not be able to really stop anyone. I mean, Kansas, the only time they didn't score on us any points on a drive was when they nailed it. I think at halftime. So, and maybe it ended up the game. And that's Kansas. They're not winning the Big 12. They're not playing the Big 12 championship. So that's worrying. That's troubling. The offense has to score every time just to keep us in it.
Yeah.
It's tough. And then the fact that basically means, okay, defensively, how hard are you trying? You know, got Wendell Gregory getting 3 sacks on the season, but so many defensive pressure, many times he's getting double teamed on top of stuff. He is truly the spirit animal of this team. The guy I'll remember from this season is a defensive lineman from this year.
Yeah.
It'll be that, and it'll be Haas Haney, if Haas Haney comes back or not.
Yeah.
Either way, it'll be Haas Haney had 3 drives for your Oklahoma State Cowboys, and
then he hurt himself.
The new head coach brought in his own guys. Derek Morris, Ryan Silverfield, or whoever. Colin Klein, etc. It'll just be very interesting to see how this all works out, of course. But right now, I'll remember it as what could have been with Haas.
What could have been, and what the train wreck happened. How fast it went down. I give the Oregon game. We all knew we were going to lose Oregon. That was given. Granted, I wish Gundy didn't give Oregon more fire to light under them, so they totally destroyed us. And then we saw the Tulsa game, and then it was just whew.
The Tulsa game, I've rewatched. I've grinded some tape on myself here. Hard to say. I've rewatched that podcast, and I'm losing it. The Pistols firing guys, when Colby crashes out, and he had the segment, Calvin crashed out completely on that. And the end of that podcast, I'm just talking in circles, and it's just, hey, this is brutal, and I'll look back on it how did we lose to Tulsa like this? Right. Tulsa hasn't. Well, I don't keep checking Tulsa. I try not to keep checking Tulsa's win-loss record because it makes me feel worse about this.
Yeah, it's 2-7 right now, by the way.
Shout out. One win. One of those two is over us.
Yeah, and Albany Christian School, that's the other win at the very beginning of the year.
Okay. They got their ABCs and their OSUs down. I'm really hopeful for next year.
Mm-hmm.
With the new head coach, the Steve Lutz hire, the J.C. Hoyt hire, the David Taylor hire, all are great hires by Chad Weiberg. And however he's done it, the staff he's used or the agency he's used and whatever, 2 thumbs straight up. Way to go, Chad. And that's why I'm really hopeful for the head coach for football. Because Chad Weiberg has a lot of want and desire for Oklahoma State to be great.
Mm-hmm.
And he clearly is doing a good job so far. I'd say a great job. Because not only are these people that he's hired that are stand-up people that are great presenters of information and talkers and seem to be people who, when you get them in a room and you need to talk to donors, they are so well-spoken to the media, so well-spoken in front of the camera. You got to believe that behind the scenes, they are so well-spoken to all of the donors, the NIL, the recruits, everything, right? So Adeline makes me really excited for who our head coach should be. Do you want to have a weekly power ranking of top 5 head coaches? I can go 5 through 1 right now.
Oh, you can go for it.
Yeah. All right. So I'll go 5 through 1 here. And then we'll make this a little bit of a fun deal here. So number 5. No drum roll. Okay.
Oh, sorry. That's too bad. I didn't know you didn't cue me for this. All right, here we go. Drum roll.
Yeah. Yeah, I think number 5 would be Jim Knowles. Man, okay, we're here. All right.
Yeah.
we got Jim Knowles, but he's almost going to be the scapegoat for Penn State's season falling apart. So don't love it, but like, I take Jim Knowles over Dan Holgerson. I take Jim Knowles over some other names that are being floated out there. None I've heard floated out, but he's fifth. He's fifth in the power rankings. Right. He may not make it past this week. You got to have former defensive coordinator who almost won the Big 12 championship and did win you a Fiesta Bowl in there. Especially when I think he might be available. Availability is a big part in this power ranking.
That is very true.
I'm not saying Mike Vrabel because he's not available, right? Like, this is not of every coach available in the
right.
So Shane Steichen also not available. NFL Colts. 4, Zach Robinson. Honestly, I think the idea of bringing Zach back would be great. Like, it rhymes. Zach's back. We got print the sharks, and we can do all the fun stuff.
Be real easy.
We've got a former offensive player from Oklahoma State, but it was also a former offensive coordinator and a quarterback back in Stillwater. It's like Mike Gundy 2.0. Zach's got black hair. Maybe you can grow out the mullet, and all of a sudden we can be the mullet team. I mean, like, you've got so many things to build out with the Zach, the Zach brand here. Z-Rob, I mean, we could just, Z and Zane have Zip. I don't know. We're working with the alliteration. But honestly, seeing the Falcons play the way they are and seeing the fact that there's not another team out there who is saying, hey, we're Florida. What do you mean you're going to get Zach Robinson? We'll offer him triple the money you will. We'll get him here in Florida, where he's closer to physically, even if it's not home. There's not another team out there that's like, hey, we're going to hire Zach Robinson. LSU, they're not looking to the NFL for anyone.
Right.
They
never have, really.
Circles. Well, I mean, they seriously, they had Nick Saban before he left to go to the Dolphins.
True.
So there's not a lot of teams out there that are looking to the NFL. That also clouds my judgment a little bit on how much I really want Zach. And then also, got to say, everything would be great if the guy was like in the NIL world. I mean, that the fact that Gundy handled that so poorly makes me think, okay, well, that correlation's got to be there for one win on the season and no wins last in the Big 12. It's got to be because we don't have the right guys in our system. We don't have the right guys on the team, and Gundy's not handling the NIL properly. That's got to be the line of thinking, because I don't think Gundy's a horrible in-game coach.
Oh, no.
And maybe he's not a good preparation coach. There's so many different aspects to it.
Right.
I don't think Gundy was great at any or horrible at any one thing, but hopefully it was NIL. And if Zach's not up to snuff on the NIL stuff, then that's going to be his fourth spot. Yeah, fourth spot.
Solid board.
3, Ryan Silverfield. I just don't think there's any way he comes to Oklahoma State from Memphis, to be honest.
Okay.
So the availability's there. Otherwise, I'd be all for it. It's kind of just wrap up in the bow. This the 2 sentences. Would love to see him come over to Oklahoma State, bring some guys with him, the transition guys. Man, it'd be fun. But I just don't see it happening. Memphis has beaten Arkansas already this year. Arkansas is probably looking, going, that guy just beat us. What if we just brought him in?
Right.
It's just the availability thing. Number 2 here, Alex Golish, University South Florida. He has built it up real well. This one goes more into the same category, though, that Ryan Silverfield does, where availability, I just feel like Golish will stay in the state of Florida. I mean, he'll Florida State, Florida, or he'll LSU or whatever. I feel like this guy, when all the chips are falling and everything's done,
he'll get money somewhere. That's for sure.
He could just not be an Oklahoma State option.
Yeah. And
that's also why I'm really hoping that the guy who's local to Oklahoma State, who has played in the Big 12 before, granted, Alex Golish had been a graduate assistant in Oklahoma State. I understand I'm kind of talking both sides of the tree here, but I mean, you talk about taking Eric Morris and getting him to Stillwater. That's number 1 in my book right now.
Eric Morris is number 1.
Former receiver for Texas Tech.
Okay.
And you know who's got it buzzing? You know who might be a group of 5 team in the playoffs this year with a group of 5 budget and group of 5 NIL? He might be a guy who's just a little bit south of Oklahoma State. I mean, 4 hours-ish, down in Texas. So that's my power ranking right now. Go in order. I'd go, I'm not going to do a whole, I throw a hand up in the air. I'm too worried about getting screenshotted. But I will go 1, Eric Morris, 2, Alex Golish, 3, Ryan Silverfield, 4, Z-Rob, Zach Robinson. Zach is back. and 5, Jim Knowles. And then the Jim Knowles one, I think I thoroughly explained, but just don't really, if everything's down, Jim Knowles, would you like to be a defense coordinator back in Stillwater, Oklahoma, where I believe you met your wife in the state?
Did he? Huh.
I think so. All the tea leaves are tea leaving it that way.
That's a new fact I learned today.
I'm just using all of these things as verbs. Clearly, no one can tell what kind of podcast I listen to and where I get my verbiage from. But anyways, those are my 5. Do you have 5? Do you want to wait to reveal yours next week?
No, I the only thing I would change is I would substitute your number 5 with Colin Klein, just because I still feel like he could potentially jump ship from A&M, and he knows NIL, at least from what I can tell, how well A&M's doing this year. So that would be, I put him more like 2 to 3 range for me, actually, and then everybody else kind of like followed in line with yours. That's the only thing. Just knock your last one, Jim Knowles, out, and then put Colin Klein like smack in the middle.
I would love to see it.
I would love to see it, but I can't wait till there's like some random rumor and we get somebody that we have never heard of.
I mean,
that's more of a likelihood.
A&M's just like 3rd in the country. Maybe that's part of it. Is like I feel like Jim Knowles would be more possible than Colin Klein, because that's a really good point. But A&M's 3rd in the country.
Yeah, everybody's probably trying to hook him up for something.
Well, but you
don't see him leaving
the country, and then you get a little bit farther down there in the playoff. You don't lose in the first game, or you're gonna make a name for yourself a little bit real quick. And right now they'd have a first round bye, so I think automatically Colin Klein's name is like floated around the Penn State, LSU's. There's just so many. There's so many open. I mean, would it really shock you if one of these guys went to UCLA? We're talking about.
Oh no,
I think UCLA is a great job, but there are a lot of people who just are casting like all the rocks and stones at that job. Like, it's horrible, it's not good, it's whatever. In the grand scheme of things,
it's got money.
It's got a lot of money. You've got donor support if you really want it, because they have it in basketball.
Mm.
And that's what we're talking about Oklahoma State. Well, Oklahoma State definitely has NIL. We've got football NIL, right? UCLA's got NIL.
Right.
Their stadium setup is horrendous.
It is.
I'm in totally agreement with that. But they also play in like the iconic stadium in the world.
Right.
So you're not getting all the fans in the world to the games. You probably have the same issue like the Chargers or the Rams do. Sometimes we're like, LSU is playing UCLA in an all-conference game.
That's
75% LSU fans who want to take a summer vacation break, take a long weekend, go out to LA, see the Rose Bowl, it probably is. And honestly, like when they play Nebraska and other teams like that have a huge fan base, not great. But like, I'm not here to say the UCLA job's better than the Oklahoma State job. I think they're about even. I would much rather be an Oklahoma State head coach than I would be a UCLA head coach, but that's really a lot of bias.
Right.
I mean,
it's also like the media. There's always more attention to UCLA, I feel like, than Oklahoma State. I will just say, overall, this is like the worst year for Oklahoma State to like lose a head coach. With all the other head coach opportunities out there, it's just like,
yeah. It's not like, hey, everyone's good and they're worried about it, and hey, we're fine. We'll plow into next season and see what we got or whatever. It is a true.
Who would have thought like half of the coaches this year would have been fired mid-year because of how poorly they?
Yeah, hey guys, there's 3 games left of the regular.
I know.
Oklahoma State. Like we have been going. Well, I'm here. I'm watching the game. Like I'll be there Saturday in Stillwater. I will not be kicking the football through the uprights at halftime again. But
darn.
I just want to let everyone know. That's it.
What did you get for that? I forgot.
I got
not Pat McAfee money, that's for sure.
No, I think he donates all of it, or like, I don't know how that works. Like, are you giving a student like 40 grand or 100?
It's actually coming. Part of it's coming from him, and part of it's coming from ESPN, and so ESPN doesn't like that anymore.
Well, but like when someone kicks it through the uprights, are they getting the money, or doesn't it go to like a donation, or some of it goes to? They always say that
it goes to them, but it's like they have to use it for school. So that's how they get it. But then there are loopholes to it so that you can like use it for your room and board. So if you're living off campus, you can use it towards that type of thing.
Or like, pay off your car for,
Yep. Or say you need a new laptop for school. There you go.
Maybe need a new desk and TV, fair.
Yeah.
I did not win anything like that. For kicking the field goal through the uprights. Missed it on Instagram. Stories wherever. It was a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. I would definitely do it again, but I did. Who am I kidding? It was like, if I had to pay to do it, how much would I pay to go down the field, kick a field goal, and make it too? Mm-hmm. Like have it like in my head. I'd pay like $1,000 to like have that experience. You think about it, like
that's true. There is a stadium of people. It's not full, but there is people, so that does make sense.
And it's the Houston game, so
it's game day.
I mean, it was the no shirty one game.
That's true.
I remember it.
Yep. You started it off. That's all.
Oh yeah, I definitely did. Up my shirt and just like going wild with it, just everything thrown all over the place. Trying to see here. I know I've got a video of it that just pop up, so I'm trying to see if I can do that real quick. I really enjoyed it. It was a ton of fun, but it was a total of $250 and a gift card and a free year of Ecrit sausage. So they're not a sponsor, so I'm not going to say their name again. If they want to sponsor the podcast, they can hit my DMs, but they're not. They gave me a free year of sausage. This company. I haven't saying their name once. Hey, where it's due is where it's.
You know what? It's free. It's free.
Free, right?
Of course, free. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's a free year of sausage. So, like, did they get the drop? They get the whole apple.
Sorry, I'm turning into a 5-year-old, 10-year-old kid over here.
All right, I'm taking the whole I made it cool at halftime really seriously. So why don't we end it out on the podcast here with the with the deal, with the actual field goal make. I think I got this all hooked up. I think I saw it. Okay. Here we go. Oh, it's up and it's nearly upright. It's fully so
very nice, very nice. Was that
15, Jordan? 15. Trey, let's run back the tape.
Hold on. Is that 15? It looks like it's 15, or is it 20?
It's from the 15, but it's a 25-yard field goal because you got to think.
Oh, yes, the end zone. That's right.
So, anyways, we're not going to dissect my form anymore.
Hey, that was beautiful form. I will admit that for a lefty.
I did practice.
Oh, you did?
I did practice. Yeah. With all being said, Trey, thanks so much for joining here on the latest episode of the CGA Tour podcast. If you're not already, please follow, shout out, subscribe, like, all that good fun stuff here. CGA Tour, we are available, Trey and I, wherever you listen to podcasts. We're available everywhere, except for Amazon Music. I can't figure that one out.
How dare you?
I know. I'll figure it out eventually. But video podcast on Spotify. And then if you have any questions, comments, concerns, shoot us a DM. Send in some information. I've been having this scroll byline here for solid 40 minutes of the podcast. Give us your thoughts, questions, comments, concerns. We appreciate everyone, and we'll catch you again soon. Peace.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Today's episode is brought to you by Oakley Burklow, your go-to independent insurance agent and proud OSU alum. Oakley helps with home, auto, life, and business insurance. Working with multiple top-rated insurance companies to find you the right coverage at the right price. Licensed in Oklahoma and Arkansas. Call 918-280-9068 or email oakley.burklow@connectmyinsurance.com. Personal service, honest advice, and a fellow host helping you protect what matters most.